Hi guys, this is number 6 of our videos, which means it's the last one. But this is one of my favorite videos to film because I love dessert, and you may be thinking that paleo, you can't eat desserts, you can't have real sugar, but that is not true. You can have all sorts of desserts, but this one is clearly definitely my favorite. This is a pumpkin snickerdoodle cookie, like a massive cookie in like a skillet. It's super good and it's pretty easy. You should have lots of different types of ingredients. So first we are going to work on our wet ingredients, and this is a paleo running mama recipe and I give her full credit, and let's go. So you're gonna need 1/3 cup of almond butter. I have chunky, but you can use smooth. It's probably better if you use smooth, but I like the taste of the chunky one better, so we use that. I have 2 teaspoons of vanilla, about 2/3 cup of coconut sugar. I have 1 egg and 1 egg yolk, and I have 2/3 cup of pureed pumpkin. You can just get that in a can. It's super easy and it's good. Trust me, the 2/3 of the cup, it doesn't taste too much like pumpkin. Like, it's pumpkin, but you aren't like assaulted by the pumpkin. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this and I'm going to put all of our ingredients into our bowl. And now one thing with the whisk, which is why I might not use it to begin with, is it's really good to get out lumps and all that. But when you're first starting, it's very hard to use the whisk because it kind of gets in your way a little bit. So I'm actually going to grab a spatula just in case, and then I'm going to add my sugar, my vanilla. I really won't like the taste of that, but it's really good. And then my eggs and my 2 things of pumpkin. I had to use 2 because I didn't have 2/3 of a cup in a single one. These are just 2 1/3s, but you get the idea. I'm just going to scoop out the rest of it because it wasn't coming. Now I'm going to take this in. First, I'm just going to start mixing with my spatula, and as it kind of gets more mixed together, it'll all switch to my whisk. Because just starting out with the whisk is super hard because of the almond butter. It doesn't always quite like to actually mix up. And I am going to save this because I do want, oh, we don't have any, I will be right back. Okay, I am going to save this because I don't necessarily want to whisk my dry ingredients in. So I'm just going to save that for now. And I'm going to take my whisk and I'm going to actually start kind of making it a little bit more smooth. And it won't be perfectly smooth, but it should be good enough. And don't forget, we're also going to mix in our dry ingredients, so you don't have to worry about it being perfect. So I'm going to set this off aside and go get my dry ingredients. Okay, so now it's time to move on to our dry ingredients, and we're going to be adding these to the same pot as our wet one. And I'm done with my whisk. I don't need it anymore. We've gotten all of our chunks out, and there won't be many more chunks to get out. So our ingredients are, we have 1 tablespoon of cinnamon, which I'm going to dump in. We have 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. We have 1/4 cup of coconut flour. We have 1 tablespoon of pumpkin pie spice. And we have 1 cup of bleached almond flour. And all of these things are a little bit not really typical in your pantry, but if you go onto Paleo Running Mama's website, you can find all of the brands and all that she used, and we just ordered straight from her. And then last I'm going to do is some salt, and I don't have a big thing for salt, so I'm just going to kind of drizzle in a little bit, about 1/4 teaspoon. And that's good. And then now I'm just going to take that same spatula and I'm going to mix this all up, and it's going to be a little bit like, it's going to feel kind of thick and sticky. Excuse me. And that's okay, because once it cooks, it kind of doesn't really change texture too much when it cooks, so you don't have to really worry about that. It won't be too thick or anything, and it kind of like gets out to like the perfect like brownie texture. So yeah, I just make sure everything's really well incorporated. I like to like scoop all the way down to the bottom to make sure you have everything in its place. And your batter is ready. So we will head over to the stove to grease our pan and get it ready to go. Hey guys, you can't see my face, but I wanted to give you a close-up of what you're supposed to do in your pan to get it ready to bake. So here I just have some melted coconut oil. You can use, I think coconut is probably the best, and I'm just gonna drizzle this into my pan, and this will give it like a good grease. And this recipe is a little bit like kind of crummy, and so, you know, it kind of, it's like doughy, so it's gonna stick a little bit and crumble when you pour it out, but you don't want it to stick. So I like to coat mine in coconut oil, and then I'm just gonna take my thing with my batter in it, and I'm just gonna kind of scoop it all out and put it into the pan. Now it's kind of hard to get out sometimes, so you just gotta work it, and just really, it's really not wanting to come out today. And I'm just gonna keep kind of making sure I get all of my dough in there. Keep going with that. Oopsies. I'm like flinging it everywhere. But yes, see, you're just gonna kind of go along and make sure that your bowl is completely good, because I use kind of a little bit of a big skillet. You can definitely size it down a little bit, but my big skillet, it kind of requires it to dough. I guess I wouldn't suggest eating it, but it's good. I'm just gonna kind of spread it out along my pan, and kind of the goal is to like spread it out enough that it covers the whole pan, but it depends how much dough you have. So like for me, like right now, like I will be able to fit the whole pan, but just barely. So I kind of like make sure that you kind of spread your dough evenly, because you also want to make sure that it cooks evenly. So I'm just kind of, you know, I'm going to keep working with it, and I will see you back when we're done. Okay, so we have our pan like this, and it's ready to go into the oven. I have preheated it at 350, and it's going to go in there for, I'd say originally about 20 minutes, and we'll check on it. Okay, so mine ended up taking about 16 minutes to cook, and now that I'm done with that, I took it out of the oven, and you're good to eat it. We like to freeze it, and so I can eat it anytime. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And this is my last video, so thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!